Sunday night footy from Suncorp Stadium is tonight the night that the Gold Coast Titans can break their drought and record their first win in nearly a year. June 9, 2019 was the last time they tasted success. It was also at this venue when they upset the Broncos. Today, they take on the West Tigers, who have a 2-1 record, and there's a host of changes for the home team with that 0-3 record. A completely new look right side, right edge, with young Tonomapia making his debut for the club. Anthony Don being a late in, while Bryce Cartwright will come in the number 16 jumper to play on that same edge as well, Blocker. Let's hope they've had some time on the training paddock. Well,
it's a shake-up for the Titans, isn't it? They need to show some resilience in defence. They've got to look to their leaders. They were talking about Kevin Proctor a little bit earlier, Jai Arrow. There's massive change to this side. But they've really got to put the pressure on, come out defensively. That's been their biggest problem. Down at the bottom of the ladder, they need to come out and show some resilience here tonight.
18 points scored, 106 conceded for Gold Coast. The West Tigers, that 2-1 record, they beat the Dragons, were then thrashed by Newcastle and recorded a wonderful victory against the Sharks last week. They are far more settled.
Well, they're sitting in 9th place at the moment, the Tigers. It looks like they're stuck there. They've been there for the last couple of seasons. They need to jump into the 8. Got a good side. The hardest thing for the Tigers tonight is their mindset. That's the biggest worry here. Every time they play against a side that's lower than them on the ladder, they seem to crumble. Big expectation here from the side tonight.
Fly in, fly out job for them. Hopefully going home with the 2 points tonight back to Sydney. They arrived just after lunchtime at Suncorp Stadium, so plenty of time to think about it ahead of this 6:30 p.m. kickoff, local time, of course. It was a real seesawing battle last week. Benji Marshall, one of the stars, as they got the chocolates against the Sharks at Bank West. David Norfoluma is having a sensational start to the season as well. Joint top try scorer with 4 already.
Well, he's got BJ Lalua on his inside. I think he's going to score a lot more tries too. BJ Lalua, Nofaluma, Benji Marshall, the right side, 8 tries so far this season. So he's so good at the back of the ground too for so many years for the Tigers. Got the ability to beat the first couple of tacklers. They underestimate the size. Only a short bloke, but very powerful.
Returned a line dropout last week for a crucial try as well against Cronulla. Benji Marshall, 35 years young. Will he keep the goal-kicking responsibilities tonight? We wait and see after going 2 for 5 last week. But here come the Titans. Bottom of the ladder. And some new fresh faces selected by Justin Holbrook. In fact, it was Kevin Proctor who said everyone's got to make sure they perform or they'll get the boots. There's a new number 9 tonight. No Peets, no Rain. Aaron Clark, the young Kiwi, gets the nod.
Gee, he looks a fit sort of bloke too. Just happy he's got that explosive power out of dummy half we saw last week for the Tigers with Harry Grant and also Billy Walters. He might be the man, 22 years old. Aaron Clark, let's see how he goes. Looking forward to this battle. Let's hope that they shine tonight, the Titans.
It's his first start in the NRL, 3rd game overall. And it's the West Tigers who get things underway. Benji Marshall with the kickoff, straight down to Anthony Don, sporting the ISO beard. And one of the stars of the show last week in the front row was Mo Fotuaika, a shining light for the Gold Coast Titans. Gets his hands on it early here alongside Sam Lasoni in the front row.
Here it is, hold.
Clark has been with the Warriors and the Raiders before finding a home on the Gold Coast. Shed 10 kilograms in the pre-season to get up to speed. Here's Proctor, who switches to that left edge with Cartwright in on the right edge. Jai Arrow, who will be a Rabbitoh for the next 4 years beyond 2020. Clark finds his kicking option in Jamal Fogarty. And a safe set from the Titans after a poor completion rate in recent games.
Yeah, good start to the game too. It was very important for them to come out and complete their first 5 sets. They've got off to a good start. Tigers with the football. Dewey looking forward to him at the back of the field. Big, tall fullback. injecting himself into the game. To see a lot of him is Nofaluma.
Yeah, both wingers getting involved. On the first couple of hit-ups, Harry Grant gestured one way, went the other way for Aloye. And Grant, a stand-up performer first up as a Tiger last week. Little scamper out of dummy half. Links up with Brooks this time.
Last one. Square marker.
Harry Grant certainly plays with confidence and swagger beyond his years as Marshall goes high. Sammy in that fullback role again with a good safe take. Tyrone Roberts named in the #1 jumper again. Not fit enough to go tonight, so Sammy deputises as he has done right throughout this season so far. There's a touch for young Tonomapia, who had a 2-year mission in Germany after departing the Melbourne Storm. Drove up to Queensland, had 2 weeks in quarantine back in April, and here he is. So impressed has Justin Holbrook been that he's straight into the starting lineup.
Gee, he must have put a bit of work in too. It's good to see him back into the NRL. Tonomapia, power pack. Remember him playing for the Melbourne Storm, not played out here. They have to go back and retreat. And Bai gets back there. Good start here from the Titans.
Yeah, no real damage done after Aaron Clark tried to get that kick away from dummy half.
You know the big thing when you're travelling all right, the Tigers are going pretty well early in the season. Got to get yourself into the game early. You can't just dip your toe in the water. You've got to get yourself stuck straight in. That's exactly what they've done here.
Yeah, good signs from Joey Leilua coming looking for work, getting into the game right on cue, as you mentioned at their block. Now, Alex Twal, an 80-minute performer last week in the middle. That's some effort. As Grant goes to Garner, and Leilua kicks on the last. Handy one, too. It's awkward for Kelly. He left it behind, played at. And the referee will say whose ball.
It's good to have that sort of skill too, and the confidence too from Leilua. You didn't see him do that often down in Canberra. A senior player now with the Tigers. And that's a knock on there. The Tigers will get the football. Kelly couldn't clean up. Slippery conditions. Look at the ground starting to dig up early in this game. And an awkward bounce. The Tigers will get the football back here.
Not sure they will.
Well, they should, because that's a knock on.
Yeah, well, not backwards, though.
No, he knocked it towards the Tigers' goal line.
The adjudication must have been he knocked it backwards, then out off Nofaluma. So the Titans will take it, and we can check in with Corey Parker on the sideline.
Evening, gentlemen. You're spot on, Blocker. The conditions are starting to get a little bit slippery. It's just starting to spit rain down here, and it's really important for the Titans, as we mentioned, particularly early in this game, that they can go with the Tigers, particularly through that middle third. So far, so good for the Tigers.
Well, Jai Arrow can go with anyone in that middle third, and a late offload there as well. There's been a set restart, so they should be able to march down Suncorp Stadium on this set now, provided they can play mistake-free footy, which is what their coach has been preaching. Strong run from Lasoni.
I'll tell you what I do like about Harry Grant too. Not only silky skills out of dummy half, good front-on hit there. He's not afraid to put his body on the line. There's another one.
Almost a forward pass, but went backwards out of the hands just. So some offloads on this set. And still early in the count after that restart. Jai Arrow heavily involved. Here's another look at how he just got that backwards to Clark. Some will debate it. Blocker keen again. No markers here. Arrow finds a kicker in Fogarty to go wide. Anthony Don Jennings gets a run up at it. Off the hands of Don forward, it appeared. Tied it up by Dewey. And it's play on for the Tigers.
They've got to show that energy getting off their own line now, the Tigers. Good defensive set. 3 from 3 to the Titans. A great start from them. Contest for the football out wide there. Anthony Don so good under the high ball. He knocked it forward. Tigers get the football back.
And Captain Mbai. And number 122 for him. Luciano Leilua flew under the radar a little. Leilua and Garner switched sides last week. They have just stiffened up things defensively on that right edge for the West Tigers, where they had been conceding quite a few tries. Here's Tom McKaylee. Strong runner in his first start of the season last week. And a late restart in the tackle count, and Harry Grant capitalises. Late offload for Brooks. Luke Brooks trying to set up Benji Marshall. The Titans are scrambling. They've got a full set to contend with now. Marshall just gestured Dewey back inside. Stepping around a couple. Adam Dewey got it down eventually. The referee waited. Dewey kept on struggling. And he gets it down for the opening try, and that late restart in the tackle count really hurt the Titans there.
And then straight away you see the value of Harry Grant. The 6 again just scoots up, finds, they're going to have a great combination, these two. Luke Brooks takes the tackle, and then straight away Benji Marshall comes into the fold. The ball back on the inside to Dewey. They just didn't close the gate back on the inside. Some beautiful footwork. He's got that ability to stretch out. Took a little bit of time to get it down. The Tigers open the scoring.
Well, he's waited a couple of years now to score a try in the NRL. Adam Dewey, it's only the 3rd of his career, first as a Tiger, and he thought for a moment, hello, it's not going to come here. But he kept on straining, well, you know, and eventually got it down.
You know what it is? It's an effort play defensively. You've got to get yourself across there. You've got to close the gate. Benji Marshall, one of those guys that holds the ball out in 2 hands. You never know what he's going to do. You've got to get up in his face and put some pressure on. Turns the ball back inside to Dewey. Dewey with some wonderful footwork. They couldn't get across there quick enough. Slams the footy down. The Tigers off to a good start.
And Benji Marshall keeps the goal-kicking responsibilities. He copped a ribbing on NRL 360 during the week, about the 2 and 5 from last week. And he's happy with Dewey, setting him up right next to the post to make it 6-0 to the visitors.
It's a little bit of a worry too, isn't it? The first time the Tigers have really been down the other end. As I said, it's been a good start from the Titans, but a great try to Dewey.
Let's get down to Corey.
Yeah, very handy footballer there in the Harry Grant, just able to keep the big forwards of the West Tigers through that middle third, asking plenty of questions, go back to 0, then he takes off out of dummy half, and the Gold Coast Titans just unable to hold them in through that part. I mentioned before about, you know, they need to go with the Tigers, particularly in the middle third, with the speed of Harry Grant. He's just been electric so far in this game. Off the back of that, Luke Brooks is able to come in. He's already had 3 runs for nearly 40 metres, so good signs.
So Gold Coast playing catch-up again. Cayley getting all the way back out beyond the 20.
Get up square. Wait, go 1.
Really just cannot be done what the Titans did. Hands on the ball, slowing down the play the ball on the last. There was little value in it. All it did was give a fresh set to the Tigers.
Yeah, you're better off giving it away if you're going to. Just trying to slow them down early in the tackle count. Not late.
Slow, 6 more.
Tigers got some wonderful attacking plays, haven't they? They can pile on some points here.
Here's another tackle count restarting. So the discipline has been poor from Justin Holbrook's side. Marshall looking up with Twile. Shape for an offload, but Lasoni denied that. Michael Maguire's got to be delighted his team switched on here after the long day of travel. And they lure. Trying to milk one. Aloye up the middle. Such mobility in this Tigers pack. Size and agility. Grant, little no-look pass to Twile that the Titans thought was suspect.
Last one, Kevin, it's the last.
Nearly pulled him over there.
Yeah, just held him up short as Grant goes left for Brooks. Out the back, Dewey. Got around Don. Now thinks kick. It's a handy one. Waited 2 years to score a try. His eyes were lining up for 2 in a couple of minutes there. And Sammy had to be safety first at the end of it all.
You don't know about the safety first there, Dewey. It's a well-weighted kick. Better to smack the ball dead in goal straight away. Don't wait that long, because you could get surprised. They've forced the line drop out now. The Tigers full of running. They've got to concentrate now. Sometimes it comes a little bit easy to you. You drop off a little bit. They can't afford to do that, the Tigers. They've forced the line drop out now, and they're full of running.
Last week, their possession was around that 33-34% mark. The Titans, plenty of defensive work to do. That's handy. The line dropout going 65 metres after the bounce was a horror for Benji. Norfoluma, though, that's what he's got. The ability to bring it back a good 20 metres.
Well, in contact, he's made about 6 metres there straight away. It'll be first up contact's got to be a lot more solid. Look at them poking their nose through here.
No more joy, Kevin Square.
Slowing down Aloye on this occasion. There's Jai Arrow. Marshall, quick hands from Garner. And Norfoluma clean bowled by it. So Gold Coast get the ball back and they needed it.
Well, that's a little bit better defence there from the Titans. If you get someone low enough to the ground, you can turn them on their back. It slows it down a lot.
6 and 6.
The pass wasn't that good from Garner. A good player should clean that up.
Let's get 6 in.
Norfoluma comes away with the error.
Sam, your arms up and over, please. Hurry, Joey.
Michael Maguire closing in on 100 wins as an NRL coach. On 98 right now, 7 of those have come against the Titans. Only lost twice against them.
Straight up, Alex. Tigers here, Luke. Hold. Go, one.
This young Tonoma Pia comes out of a great system at the Melbourne Storm.
Wait. Go, 2. Young, you contribute.
Fonaweka moving it on. Taylor cut out, read by Norfoluma, and he's going to stroll under the posts. Not what Ash Taylor was after, but the West Tigers accept the donation, and it's going to be 12-0 in about 12 minutes.
You know, that's great play from Norfoluma. They don't put their heads down now after he made the mistake. We see poor old Ash Taylor going to the line. Look, just reads it beautifully. He's going to see this long cutout pass here. Norfoluma, once he got it, poor old Jai Arrow had to turn around, but it's a 40-metre sprint. Not a bad place to score. Back-to-back tries for the Tigers.
On track for his best try-scoring season ever the way he's going, and that was 14 in the 2016 season. He is the outright top try scorer in the NRL this season now with 5.
Not a bad place to score for Benji too. Benji will be happy about that, right under the posts.
So goes clear of Best, Felt, Hampton and Edric Lee. Plenty of tries for the Knights in the earlier game on your Sunday ticket.
Playing with plenty of confidence, aren't they, the Tigers, really? Their completion has been so good early in this game, apart from the knock-on. Just always at you. Attacking play. He's done an amazing job, Michael Maguire, with the roster that he had. He had no money to spend for the last couple of years, so he's brought a few juniors through. He's done a great job.
So 2 converted tries, and it's looking ominous, isn't it, Corey?
Yeah, it certainly is. And if you just look at warm-ups, and they're not always the greatest sign, but the West Tigers were very vocal in warm-up. They were very united. And they've certainly come out here and played that way in the opening stage. Now, the concern for me is for the Gold Coast Titans under a little bit of fatigue. Just in that play there, they were playing very early, very much pre-line. Obviously, it was great positional play from Norfoluma to put himself between Copley, but very, very early pre-line passing, and they need to go forward before they can start to come wide, particularly against a good defensive side like the Tigers.
Yeah, Holbrook has been looking for some better communicators. That's part of the reason Fogarty came into this lineup.
He's right there, Corey. Ash Parker. He tried to shift the foot. Ash Taylor tried to shift the ball off no go forward. Well, no one's poking their nose through. Tries to shift the ball off nothing. You can't do it. That's what happened. The Tigers got up into the line. That's why the intercept happened.
Garner backs his way down. Good early contact between the 2 lock forwards. Arrow in the face of Twile. Grant rolling up the middle. Dewey hunting off his right shoulder. And they're up to that 40-metre line again. Brooks wants it left. Pressure on the kick from Arrow. And Don has to get aerial to take it. Good safe take from the veteran. That's that weight of possession in favour of the visiting team again tonight. Sammy. Gesturing as though he's been the victim of a crusher. And the referee got the tip from someone. And Sammy's recovered. Miracle recovery once he heard the whistle.
Yeah, straight up. He would have felt the pressure on the back of his head there. Around that neck region. The Tigers have done well to get 3 in the tackle here. He's been doing it well so far. Just got caught underneath. They did let him go a little bit there. Hang on to the back of the head.
On his foot, guys.
Right in the halfway line, the Titans.
Again, the early shift. All the way to Lasoni for a 1 metre gain on the play. But they are centre field now.
Hurry, not too deep.
Switch it back to the left. Fodawaker.
Move together. Step, hurry,
Only
step.
forward to
Hold it, hold it.
tally more than 100 metres run last week. It was 140 odd for him in 50 minutes or so. Cotley gets his hands on it this time after Norfoluma thieved it away last time. What a career ahead of this guy. Mo Fodawaker. Puts his hand up for a second hit up on this set. Clark goes right. Again, Arrow gets his hand on it. Moved on by Fogarty. Another intercept brewing, and they can run away here. No, they say knock on, do they? Thought it was almost all backwards, and Mbai would have gone 80 off Jennings.
Well, I think on the other side of the field this time, it's Bryce Cartwright trying to throw the pass over the top. The idea was right, execution no good. And there it is, just to catch a pass. He just seen out of the corner of his eye that it was on. Tigers lucky not. Well, the Titans lucky the Tigers didn't go 80 metres there.
The Tigers are showing their hand there, Blocker, where the wingers are coming up nice and hard. They need to either set for a 2-pass kick, which keeps the winger honest, and they might find some space in behind them, but they just can't keep going pre-line passing, early passing, try and go around them.
The pass deemed to have gone forward before the West Tigers created their knock-on.
Take it back. Tackle
That's
one.
why they got the feed.
Gee, it slows the game down when if someone steps off the mark, penalise them. I hate that. It's my pet hate. Blowing the whistle and putting them back on the mark. You step off the mark, penalise them.
There'll be plenty that would agree with you. Everything to try and keep the game moving at a good pace.
It slows the game down.
Strong running again from the former Raider and Rooster. Leilua debuted against the Titans as a Rooster a decade ago now. Finding his front here for Aloye, and plenty going on. Almost tunnel ball was Grant, eventually found his kicker. Sammy able to stay grounded. Great timing by Mbai. The line speed from the West Tigers. Don had nowhere to go. Aloye puts him in a headlock for good measure. 3 tackles made and a late offload for Cartwright. Oh, another offload force for Clark. Some ad-lib footy inside their own 20. It worked on that occasion, but it's heart and mouth stuff for Titans fans.
Yeah, well, they're going to come up with something a little bit different, haven't they? If they just go through the motions and try to take the Tigers on down through the middle, it won't happen for them. I don't mind that.
Now, hunting a 40-20 is Ash Taylor. And he's, the bounce of the ball. Will it get there? Yes, they'll get it back now. Dewey just wanted to prevent Don scoring a try, so Ash Taylor can celebrate something.
Well, I hope that lifts him too. Ash Taylor, the 40-20. Ask the question, where was Dewey for the Tigers there? He arrives late. Don got in front. That's a brilliant play. Those sort of plays, you get the 40-20. It's only early in the game. Tigers leading 12-0. You've got to get one back here. You've got to make something of it.
Don't forget, it's not the last game of the round. We've got the Monday game coming your way tomorrow. Coverage starts at 3 p.m. on Fox League. And 2 teams hunting their first win of the season. Who will it be? The Bulldogs or the Dragons tomorrow? As the Titans get a great opportunity here off the back of Ash Taylor's really clever kick. Tackle count restarts very early on, of course. Clark having a crack, Aaron Clark, and stopped by his opposite number. Good solid contact by Grant. Arrow says where to. Taylor changes the point of the attack. Fogarty almost running behind teammates. Gave up in the end as Grant makes another tackle. Here comes Lasoni, a long-time warrior in his first year as a Titan. Proctor, over goes Proctor, and the Ash Taylor 40-20 turns into 4 points for Gold Coast, and they're back in the ball game.
See, that's a problem with the Tigers, leading 12 points to nil. You get a little bit comfortable, the 40-20. Now, Proctor should never have been able to score there. They had to get off their line. Look at that. Benji got in front of the bloke on the inside there. And that's the problem. Legs tackle close to the line. Proctor just stretches out and scores. It was Grant. He should have done a lot better there. Got up in front of Grant. Proctor saw it. Stretches out and scores on the back of the 40-20. The Titans are back in it.
And when you look at the stats, the West Tigers' right edge has been the most vulnerable of any team in the comp, and Proctor's eyes are lighting up tonight. Gee, it puts pressure on. If we see the replay, watch Benji Marshall get up in front of Grant. It puts pressure. You can get a one-on-one then. You've got to go up together. Get one-on-one, legs tackle, Proctor scores. So after throwing the intercept for Norfoluma, Ash Taylor refused to drop his head, came up with a big play that has been parlayed into 4, and now he can make it 6 with the conversion. And he knocks it over. It's back to a 6-point ball game, Corey Parker.
Yeah, it is, and it's great reward there for Ash Taylor. He came up with a big play with the 40-20. But they did a really good job there at targeting Harry Grant. It was his 4th tackle. You mentioned about Benji Marshall coming up off the line. Normally when they come flying up like that, it's just to try and, I suppose, herd that ball back in. In doing that, though, Harry Grant didn't go with him and left a little what they call triangle blocker in the defensive line. It was very easy at the end of the day, and something that won't please the coach at all. In their first real opportunity, the Gold Coast Titans come away with some points.
Well, I want to see a response now from the Tigers kicking off. And then in a soft try like that to Proctor. Roll the sleeves up and try and make a statement in these first 3 tackles. And the Titans trying to bring the ball back. Let's see how much venom they've got in these first couple.
They are facing their favourite opponent historically tonight, the Titans. They've got a 12-9 record down the years against the West Tigers. Great pass, and Sammy is through. Great tackle, Dewey, on his opposing fullback. But they are rolling. The Gold Coast side. Lasoni. Slow play the ball. Given the benefit of the doubt, Harry Grant. Jai Arrow heavily involved. It's been great to see his contribution so far. Fodawaker wanted to pass, had no one to pass to in the end. And they burn a play now for Fogarty to go high. Still getting there and leaving it for Jennings in the end was young Tonamapia. Can they force him back into the in goal? It's a great fight. And Jennings wins it just.
He did well to stay in the field of play, didn't he? They're bridging up now.
Tonamapia out of marker, outstanding. And they get them in the in goal 2nd time around.
Well, that's a hunger play there. Tonamapia just coming into the side this week. Just shows a little bit of enthusiasm. Held up. Marks him by it was coming out of dummy half. That's a good couple of minutes here for the Titans. The pre-line pass on the halfway line in the middle third of the field was a beauty for Sammy to make the break.
Drove up from Melbourne, born and raised in Melbourne, young Tonamapia. And when he arrived back from Germany, he sensed there was an opportunity with the Gold Coast Titans. And it's only taken him a couple of months to force his way into this starting lineup, and that'll keep him there, that kind of effort play.
It's the Tigers that now need to show a little bit of resilience. A 40-20 from Ash Taylor only a couple of minutes ago. A short kick-off.
Oh, great effort by Don, who rose above them. West Tigers chance their arm. Why not? Plenty will say, because pretty soon after a line dropout, you're defending inside your own 20 anyway.
Move together, hurry, Luke. Hold it, Alex, go too.
The advantage line, Lasoni.
Tackle 3, get square. Hold the line.
Some turnaround if Gold Coast can find another try here. Sammy. There's a teammate in the line, so perhaps best that he didn't score on that play. Fonawaka. Opportunity left. Clark has seen it, got a shout from Taylor. Ash Taylor putting some footwork on. Clever pass, floated it for Clark to get back on side. Kicks pretty handy too. Tonamapia, try, no, it goes begging, but it'll be a repeat set off the West Tiger. And those kicks out on that right-hand side are looking real threatening.
Yeah, they're kicking for Don all the time. It's a beautifully weighted kick. So much skill in that. Couldn't clean up at the back.
Oliver Clark comes in for the West Tigers in their first change.
Oliver Pia knows that's one that slipped away.
It's amazing how just an effort, a player can make a couple of efforts, puts you straight back into the game. And that experience Oliver Pia has had in that system down in Melbourne, with a little bit of spark that they need, the Titans.
Suddenly possession is evening up big time. Nice confirmation of that change. Clark getting involved in that tackle as McKaylee gets a spell. Floating around is Taylor. Great read defensively from Mbai. Came up and thwarted Sammy's attempt to chime in the fullback role. Fonawaka. What an engine he has, the 20-year-old.
Yeah, they're willing enough, aren't they? Fonawaka, great start of the game.
Peachy out there now. Proctor can't crash his way past Benji and company that time.
Last one, straight up. Hold the line. Go.
Clark looks for his kicking option. Taylor to go towards Don's wing again against Jennings. Don getting there. Up he goes. Anthony Don. Oh, the turnaround here from the Titans gives their fans real encouragement.
Got to try. Just make sure it's completely clean, doesn't hit a Tiger.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that on first inspection.
Gold Coast
Well, they've
Titans
been persistent, haven't they? That's one thing here from the Titans. The crossfield kick to Anthony Don. Seen him score a lot of tries like this. A lot taller than his opposition player in Robert Jennings. Gets over the top.
Anthony Don in the contest.
Don scores.
Grounds the ball in goal. We have a decision.
The Titans' greatest ever try scorer has number 77 now, and the late reshuffle on the right edge coming up trumps Tonamapia, Don and company.
I just had a look at the amount. There it is, the Tweed awarded the try. The amount of time that Ash Taylor has had to kick these balls across field. There's been no chase from marker. The speed of the line hasn't been there. Look at that. It's an age. 4 seconds to put it where he wants it. No one put any pressure on. Don collects the ball over the top. And that's a great start here, or a great comeback from the Titans. A couple of big plays. Look at the age he's got to put that ball up and put it where he wants it. The Titans back-to-back tries.
Suffered bone bruising about a week before the return for that round 3 game, so he's ruled out last week, and he only trained about half of the sessions in the week leading up to this game as well. So there was no certainty to play, but got the nod on game day, and Anthony Don, the way he rose for that and flew above Jennings, showed that he was right to go. Taylor with the try assist off the boot, as we've seen right throughout his NRL career. And bends it back nicely. He's got it on a string, and out of nowhere, it's 12 apiece.
Off the back of some possession there in the last 10 sets, they've had 79% of possession. We've seen so often over the last few rounds that if you can hold the ball and have some possession, you will come away with some points. The Gold Coast Titans, they look controlled, they look patient, and they've just been able to build a little bit of pressure, and they've come away with some points. As Justin Holbrook looks on, he'll be very happy with that.
Don't forget all the analysis of this half-time, well, first half coming up in the half-time show with Braithen Astor, Hindy, Mal Meninga, who will be liking what he's seen in this turnaround. Suddenly, some glum faces up in that West Tigers coach's box. Similar to last week, wasn't it? They got the jump on the Sharks and let Cronulla back into it.
Yeah, 100%. And then we saw Benji just put on a show in the second half of the Tigers last week with his attacking ability. They need to come out of this slumber here. The Tigers need to get their hands on the ball. They're really suffering, having no ball, no possession.
Peachy, that utility value off the bench, slotting in on that left-hand side. Clark laying eyes up footy, wrestled to the ground, ball came out. Did it go backwards? No, it's deemed an error for Clark, upset with himself. And it was strong, aggressive work in the tackle, the way he was slung to the ground.
He's just got to get that out of his mind there. The 22-year-old Clark just swung around on the ground. I don't know if he was trying to get the ball in a position to try and pass, but there's a mistake. That should stop the momentum of this Titan side.
10 seconds.
Tigers with the football now.
Let it go.
Grant was locking it, fired a lovely pass to Brooks, and a feature of Harry Grant's play, the passing out in front of his teammates to perfection. Now Aloye.
Stand now.
An opportunity for the West Tigers to hit back here. Twal, who got them the ball back with that fierce tackle on Clark. Marshall, Dewey, and Copley in to make the tackle.
Actually, make sure you...
Flat ball for Marshall, little double pump for Brooks. Luciano Leilua, good contact from Cartwright as Leilua stepped inside the halfback. Brooks trying to keep it low, played at, fresh set, but then he lost it, Brooks.
Okay, it was played at, then a knock on.
Titans get the ball back.
Well, that time you have a look at it, they put pressure on Brooks in the last tackle there. Got the football back. Be interesting to see if he heard the call there. Just a hand on the footy. Peachy. Tigers will be disappointed with that.
Okay, guys, let's wind down.
Bit of defence from Cartwright too. Good to see.
Stay in here, don't go early, Adam.
Getting in front.
Hold in, out.
And some solid hits.
Stand now. Hold.
Copley gets the quick play, the ball he was after. No damage done after that Clark error. Goes to Don. Ooh. Down low around the legs. That can get awkward, but no damage done for Arrow. Peachy. Plenty of work around the middle on this set.
I like him in and around the middle too, Peachy. He might be a lock forward these days. A knock on, try to get to his feet quickly to play the ball.
Captain's challenge. I think Tyrone Peachy's going to advise that they should make a captain's challenge here.
Oliver Clark was all over him.
Jared, that was tackle for Titans. Titans challenging, ruling of lost ball.
Seen a few of these sent upstairs in the last couple of weeks. Puts the ball down and then it's kicked after that. So he's trying to play the ball and then the foot gets involved. How do you see that one, Blocker?
I think they'll lose it.
Initiates contact with the Tigers defender, then places the ball on the foot. Challenge is unsuccessful against Gold Coast.
Did you see how Peachy was trying to tackle one of the Tigers players when he's got the ball? Just lifted under his leg to try and push him off. Instead of concentrating on playing the football. It's a poor error.
Mate, Tyrone grabs the marker. That's why it's messy. That's why it's last week too. Okay, let's bind, guys. There's no clock.
Kevin Proctor, who is the captain, and agreed that Peachy was entitled to challenge that one. Still debating on whether he actually placed it on the foot or whether he placed it on the deck and then the foot got involved. It's a close run thing. Luciano Leilua isolated against the smaller man, but Fogarty stood up.
Nice.
Good contact by Clark on his namesake. Aaron Violi in the middle. And they came up hunting Twal as well. Tonomapia was looking for a team lifter. Marshall to Brooks, wrapping around right side for Dewey now. And the defence is good. Crowding Dewey. Couple more tackles on this set. Off the back of the Peachy mistake. Forward pass calls go unheeded. Norfoluma. Oh, clever little flick to Benji. Normally it's the other way around, of course. And Marshall crossfield. Use Leilua as the decoy. Again, the defence slid well there, the Titans. Fogarty makes another handy one-on-one tackle. Brooks. Crossfield for Norfoluma. And Dewey to go up. Falcon for Taylor, not played at. It remains the last for Grant. How inventive can he be? Don under pressure. They'll get a repeat set out of that one.
Well, you know what he is? Grant, he's a footballer. So good to see. Here's the clash. It's a nice Falcon, this one, is it? Goes back, Benji Marshall just cruises across field. Here's Grant. Kick back in field, perfectly timed. Don there right on the spot. Benji Marshall makes the tackle. Tigers get a chance.
He's a wonderful competitor, isn't he, Blocker? You mentioned he's a footballer, just his ability to get the ball and have the presence of mind to come up with the right play at the right time.
It's another line dropout that they let bounce. As a result, first tackle is made inside their own half eventually, as Kelly got in and under. Plenty of footy for Kelly in the centres, but he's making a fist of that shift out to the wing, isn't he?
Well, you can just sense a fair bit of belief in here in the Titans' defence. The last couple of sets, they've come up and they've cracked the Tigers.
And they close out the half. Here go the Tigers again towards Leilua. Cartwright told to stay out of it. Grant. Marshall, quick hands. Leilua, left Norfoluma outside him. And submitted to the tackle in the end. Marshall shifts it to Brooks, trying to find grass in behind. Don won't get taken back into the in goal this time, you wouldn't have thought. And they stand up defensively as a group, as a unit, the Titans.
Gee, I thought that was an ordinary kick from Brooks there. He didn't eat up the yards. The kick in behind. Just kick for the sake of kicking. There's another crusher.
It was. He was in that position. He's in the position. You bent him right over.
Tonomapia, it is.
Jory Arrow leaving the field. Keegan Hipgrave comes his way into the game.
Well, that's good, Corey. We might see a little bit of madness.
Some fireworks.
It's the second time the West Tigers, and you heard the referee saying that, you know, once you get your opponent in that position, you've got to lay off and ensure that you don't create that crusher move. So Arrow gets a spell.
Ran for 74 metres. All the carries and offload. Did well.
Here's Hipgrave playing in the middle. Sort of flew under the radar, his story. Nearly a year out of the game after concussion problems last year. Couldn't return to contact until the doctors gave him the all clear a few months ago. So he's delighted to be out there again, Keegan Hipgrave. Credit to him. Here's Proctor. Norfoluma. Good tackle on a bigger man. And Lewis slowed it down to the nth degree. Peachy now. Came on for Lasoni to operate in the middle. Taylor stabs one. Oh, great catch by Benji Marshall in the slips cordon. Juggled it. But brought it under his spell eventually.
He did well, didn't he? You'd like him in second or third slip there, Benji. Reaction time of a big cat, the Tigers.
offload was the shout from the Titans defensively here once Norfoluma got his hands on it. It's a feature of his game, and that's trying to play it too quickly, Norfoluma, and he gifts the Titans field position here. He's thinking captain's challenge. The captain might turn him down.
Yeah, I don't think you'll win that one. I don't think you even got a foot on the ball, just trying to get it planted. You're not allowed to plant the ball down.
Scrum's over here.
Make an attempt to get your foot on the ball. Yes. I think it's fair enough call. Showed great strength to get to his feet.
Guys, there's no clock.
Can't do that.
Let's start binding.
So the work rate of Keegan Hipgrave led to impatience from Norfoluma. 3 minutes for more points here to complete a turnaround from 12-0 down to take a lead to the break, perhaps.
Stand together. Hold.
Taylor already cooking something up on this left-hand side as Hipgrave sets them up. Might have thrown that offload earlier in his career, but does the discipline thing this time. What a waker. What an opening shift from him. Looks like he's going to go the entire 40. Fogarty. Player of the year in the Queensland Cup last year with Burleigh. Getting another crack at NRL level. Clark, no look pass. It was borderline to Fodawaker. Play 5 has been a little ordinary at times. What can they do on the final play? Peachy. Pass hits the deck, another intercept thrown as Leilua tidies up. Didn't finish off that set at all well.
No, they need to come away with something to get the last set of the first half. As you said, the kicking game hasn't been great. They have scored a try off it. The little grubber in and behind, that's where the halves have got to take control.
Plenty of work going on again. Jennings straining for a quick play, the ball of his own.
Tell you what, I like what I've seen from the Titans after being behind 12 points to 0. Their defence has been excellent after that early onslaught. Put their bodies on the line. You can see they're coming off the line and trying to put shots on.
Brooks into touch, a long way short of the 40-20, so they will get the final set. Here the Titans, should be a minute or so on the clock to have one more crack at it, maybe a field goal.
Gee, I'd like to see them chance their hand here. Try and chance your hand to get it going in front at half-time. The coach is real happy, the shake of the head. Very easy to just mentally to clock off when you lead 12 points to 0 early against a side that's really struggling.
Jamal, you ready? Heads down.
That's where becoming a professional player comes into it. You just got to stick to what you're doing.
You mentioned the halves didn't quite take ownership on that previous set. Do you think they should be communicating on how to get a field goal shot away at the end of this one?
Wouldn't be a bad call. Wouldn't be bad to go in at half-time. As I said, I'd love to see them chance their hand a little bit. They'll probably work back into the middle now.
One-on-one strip attempted. That's play on as it fell back into Kelly's grasp. And that's another one-on-one strip after the event, and that's a penalty. Can find touch if you want. Now you can set up the field goal crack.
They'll have a shot at goal, are they? No.
Not from 50. It'd be a fair old leg to get there.
I thought, looked like he was pointing to the post then. Ash Taylor.
Time ticks away there after the poor execution to set up the tap play, and he does go for one immediately. Ash Taylor, did he sneak it in? Not quite.
He hit it nice.
And that will send us to the sheds. The Titans very competitive. After falling behind 12-0, they were this close to taking a lead into half-time. It just bent around that upright, the wrong side of it. Real competitive game in Sunday night footy. We're all locked up at the break, 12 apiece. A real seesawing game at Suncorp Stadium tonight. The West Tigers got the jump on the Titans with 2 tries converted, but back came the home team. Anthony Don soaring over the top of Jennings. They like that matchup. And at the break, it's 12-all. Titans playing for their first win under Justin Holbrook, who was a winner as coach of St Helens, of course. In the UK, great success, an 80% win rate there. So it's only a matter of time, you'd think, before he turns things around for the Titans. The West Tigers Would have been a heart-to-heart for them at half-time. Harry Grant asked to make a lot of tackles in that first half.
Had to make 29 tackles in that first half, but lucky for the Tigers, he was probably their best in the first half. Look at the Tigers, they got Billy Wallace. Now, they used him last week in tandem, coming onto the field. We'll see Benji Marshall too. We mentioned the second half that Benji Marshall produced last week. Needs to get a little bit more involved too, Brooksy. So the Tigers with it all to do, because they had 56% of the ball, the Titans, only 44% to the Tigers, so they thought it was going to be all easy. That's not the case.
Billy Walters getting ready for his cameo. He was outstanding off the bench last week. A try assist, a line break assist, 3 tackle busts, an offload in just 23 minutes of footy. Here comes the Gold Coast side with their tails up after the way they finished off that first 40. Wound up with the lion's share of possession in the end. 56% of it, their completion rate identical in the end with the Tigers, both going at 75% right now. And Mo Fotuaika had an outstanding first 40.
Yeah, I thought he was unbelievable. 12 runs for 104 metres. Just another day in the office. I've seen this kid play over the last couple of seasons. You know what you're going to get from him. But the Titans, now, can they go on with it? They're on their home ground. Get the kick off and put the first shots on the West Tigers. You can see how they start. I hope they come out of the blocks here.
Mike Maguire has put Seyfarth out there to start this second 40. Alex Seyfarth, who made his debut last week. Norfoluma accepted the kickoff and happy enough to bring it straight back. Didn't look for a big man. There's Garner.
Aaron, Tyrone, give space. Hold.
Harry Grant, how many minutes will he play tonight? Just shy of an hour for him last week. Here's Seyfarth, 21 years of age. Put on 4 kilos in ISO, working out in the gym and impressing Michael Maguire. It's another brilliant run from Grant. Off the back of it, Brooks has time for the kick. Chase is on. And was that a block by Clark? It bounces the West Tigers' way anyway. Flipped up. And Jennings, bit of ad-lib footy at the end of it all. Can they keep it alive here? Here's Grant. Seyfarth onto Benji. His overlap created on the right-hand side. Catch and pass from Leilua. Norfoluma. Little kick at the end of it all. What a try!
Oh, that's a
the West Tigers with the ad-lib try of the year.
What a start to the second half. I was almost going to say, with Jennings throwing the ball over his head, not even looking, what sort of pass is that? They've got to try.
Let's have a look at onside.
Leilua that gets it in the end, the catch and pass. That's the sort of position you want Benji to get the ball in. I'm going to have a look at it, Norfoluma, with the kick back in field. 2 players are getting good at this. And right on the spot.
Clearly onside, Joey Leilua. His first try as a West Tiger will live long in the memory. A team try capped off by the former Raider. Not sure why we're looking at it.
West Tigers inside kick chase is cleared as being onside.
That's some sort of try, isn't it? He's the bloke you wanted to get his hands on the football. In Benji Marshall, just scooted across field.
The ball is grounded.
That's a try. What a start. I want to hear you call the whole try. That's what I want to hear.
He's got 4 in his past 5 against the Titans now. None better than that. And again, it was that Harry Grant, the thinker. Once he got the footy, everyone was panicking, throwing passes all over the place. He was the one who steadied it.
Well, he's the man that made the break down the left-hand side too. Made a 20-metre run. The bounce of the football going anywhere. This is the pass I was talking about, this one. Look at that. That's a coach killer.
Here's Grant steadying things. Seyfarth, who'd been tripped up by Clark. I thought it was going to lead to a penalty earlier on that kick chase. And Norfoluma, what a sharp kick inside that is. And everything fell into place on that try-scoring sequence.
We saw it in the first half. The Tigers shoot away to a 12-point lead, and then they relaxed, come out in the second half, score after a couple of minutes. Benji will like his chances here.
Oh, wow.
Kick the ground.
And if the confidence levels drop off, Moses Mbai could take over it as he did last week. We'll wait and see. And this catch and pass, similar to what we saw last night, wasn't it? When Manly were denied that late try, and the touchy had a look at it and said, I'm okay with that one.
It's a great skill. I think we underestimate some of the skills of these guys. Norfoluma there with the kick back in field. Goes to Leilua on the full. Just there, kept himself on side. Great start for the Tigers in the second half.
This time Norfoluma able to give it off to Clark. 11th game for Ollie Clark. And Proctor penalised this time, the captain. There's no captain's challenge left for the Titans either after they blew it in the first 40.
Not a bad one for the Tigers here. Second tackle penalty. They have to work off their own line. There's Proctor with his hands all over the footy. He did let go, I must say. The damage was done.
Oh, it's happened a few times tonight that the aggressive play the ball has really rolled back through the legs of Grant too far.
Just wonder what the mindset of young Grant is, knowing that Billy Waters is going to come on. He's had a great start to the second half. Here he goes again.
Brilliant dart from Grant. Sammy ensured there was no offload. Seyfarth was looming on his right shoulder, would have strolled over under the post, perhaps. Now Brooks, no look pass, played at, and that's 6 more. And that kick was not what Brooks intended, but it worked out for his side eventually. It's like he tried to bail out of the kick at the end of it all.
Just waiting for him to explode onto the football. We know what great pace he has, Brooks. Been out of the game for a long period of time here.
And Lua wasn't too far away from dragging 3 over the try line. Seyfarth. Clark with the early contact there. Alongside Lasoni. Marshall. Good read defensively by Kelly. Ensured that Dewey couldn't get it on the outside. How's the finish to this set? Brooks gets his hands on it again via Marshall. That kick's a better one. Across in time is Sammy. Can he get back in the field of play? He can by centimetres.
No, he did well too. The chase was pretty good from Leilua. Sammy does it enormously well to get back in the field of play. This is a tough position to be running the ball. Look at Fogarty saying, who's next?
Asking for another crusher here. They've got 2 of them so far.
Tackle 2.
Don't think they'll get this one. It's a big set here for the Titans, Corey Parker.
Yeah, it certainly is. And the main message, as we see young Tonham Appear just get caught there, the main message from half-time from Michael Maguire was very simple. He just wanted his guys to get back to their pattern and go through the middle. And the points will come, as we saw there. Harry Grant is controlling things absolutely beautifully through that middle third. As for the Titans, Holbrook was very impressed with the last 20 minutes. They showed that they wanted to be in the game. They loved their intent, their attitude, and to keep it going. Not a great start for them, however.
Dong put on his back, slowed down, so on their own 10 after 3 tackles. Tonamapia nearly gets them to the 20. Kick at the end of this is going to be important, as Kelly gets them out towards that 30. Clark looks to find his kicker. Falls upon Fogarty. Getting a hang time there for Dewey to get them on the front foot again.
Well, that's a good win there for the West Tigers with Dewey attacking the footy. 2 plays and they're up over the halfway line. Here's Norfoluma again. Just got an energy for work, hasn't he? He loves it. quick play the ball too.
Dewey again playing that number 1 jumper. Corey Thompson played in that fullback role a lot last year. There's been a bit of talk that maybe Thompson could wind up a Titan as early as tomorrow. Watch this space on that one. Whether the West Tigers will let him go as...
What do you reckon? There might be a spare seat on the plane going home.
Yeah, perhaps he's up there. Was that played at? Knocked on by Marshall. I think it will be Gold Coast ball, and Ash Taylor. Little pat on the back from Benji Marshall, which Marshall might put in the memory bank.
Yeah, a little bit cheeky there from Ash Taylor. I don't think it'll be awakening the Tiger in Benji Marshall. He'll make up for it sometime in the second half. He'll get back.
Okay, let's find.
Yeah, they're sharing a smile about it, so that'll be something for Benny and Kenty to ask about this week when Benji Marshall chimes in, whether there was anything disrespectful about Ash Taylor's work there. Don't forget Sunday night with Matty Johns right after full time tonight. Hindy, Fletch and Sam Burgess on the couch. Dale Finucane via FaceTime. I wonder whether he'll get the guitar going. Fire up for a tune.
Yeah. Hope so.
Driven back 3 in the tackle. Peachy was backtracking. Sonny. Oh, the call of forward is heated. Aaron Clark wants to debate that one. The West Tigers were in the referee's ear and he blew the whistle.
Back here, guys.
There's a couple of mistakes there from the young fella.
Middle.
I think that was a line ball. I reckon that's a tough call.
I see a lot of very similar passes let go, and I think Justin Holbrook is saying something along those lines. It's another error inside their own half, though.
We're here.
When you look at the stat sheet, that's all that counts.
Shot clock off.
Hand over possession to the West Tigers, trying to build on that 6-point lead.
Just haven't been able to get up the other end, have they? So far in the second half. Poor old Titans.
Phillip, right in,
A
please.
few mistakes.
Stay in there.
But in that, the Tigers got to capitalise.
Hang on. Hey, Oliver, don't grab him. Just head down and we get in and out. Come on, no slapping at it. Let's go.
West Tigers functioning pretty smoothly, considering it's a pretty new look spine, isn't it? With Dewey, Grant, Brooks and Benji.
Let it go.
Back on the angle, Joey Leilua. Important tackle by Proctor. Hunted down the hips of Joey. Garner falls backwards and slowed down. Marshall and Clark running at Peachy. Help from Lasoni.
Release him! Hold it.
Told to release. Eventually heard that call. Now Brooks keeping the line on.
Okay, Bryce, Cartwright, get up, mate. Hold the line. Hold.
Grant so casual the way he approaches his dummy half work, but he was scheming all the while. Clark could find no way through.
Last one, wait. Go.
Set up for a play on that right-hand side. Marshall doesn't kick. Asks Norfoluma to create again. And he does. Kick looked heavy off the boot. And they get a 7-tackle set out of it.
Yeah, just rushed it a little bit there. Just the passing skills of Benji Marshall. That bullet-like pass out to Norfoluma. Just a little bit too much on that kick. The Tigers should have come away with something a little bit better. They've had 74% of the ball here in the second half, plus all the field position. That's the big point too. They've got to come away with those sort of kicks in the in goal and force the line dropouts. They've got it all to do.
Tanner Boyd onto the field block. He'd be looking to run.
Right on cue, Corey. Tanner Boyd replacing Clark. So the 19-year-old, who is a halfback by trade, but realising that the backup dummy half is a good place to slot into first grade right now. Played as the 7 for the Gold Coast Titans late last season. Finds the 7 in Fogarty this time around, and Hipgrave sets things up. Fogarty, Cartwright, that'll be Gold Coast ball. And they'll come back and have a scrum feed. Clearly a double knock on, and they'll get a fresh set here.
Well, don't you like that sound of all that contact? Cartwright just coming from behind Fogarty there. The catch and pass, he's very good at it. come in field. It was Masters that time. Or Jennings, sorry, Robert Jennings. Ball comes off. Just like to see him dig in the line, but Cartwright, not always look for the pass.
Alex, Sam, make sure we release each other, okay? Moses, please. Adam, right in, Adam.
He missed round 3, but started on the right edge in rounds 1 and 2. Given that medical exemption. After all that talk about flu vaccinations and all that.
Untangle. Right here.
Sonny makes his way down. Only a 4-point margin here. Titans with designs on taking their first lead of the evening. Quick hands. Oh, great read by Garner, who upended Philip Sammy. And the set play does not come off, and Sammy's in some bother, the fullback.
Gee, it was a beautiful technique too, wasn't it? Just get up under the ball. I think he might have relaxed a little bit back on the inside. Look at that. That's a great tackle.
Well, they made that switch, Garner to the right edge to stiffen things up defensively, and boy, did he do it there. It's the Titans complaining about the similar kind of pass that Clark was pinged for a moment ago. Grant given the all clear. Here goes Harry. Seyfarth trying to get the fend going on Proctor. Forces an offload for Benji. Marshall wanted Leilua to come back on an angle. Keeps the legs pumping. Late offload. The referee let things roll there, and the West Tigers look to capitalise. Luke Brooks now. One more offload. Would have had them sitting ducks, you'd think. Now Marshall. Quick hands back to Brooks. They've got to improvise again here. Dewey to kick wide. Norfoluma up he goes. Oh, David Norfoluma, a pint-sized winger, but he rose and collected it there just like Don in the first half. And the leading try scorer in 2020 has 6 to savour.
Well, you can put that down to the Tigers' defence at the other end of the field. It was Luke Garner that come away with a great hit, a great shot. They got the ball back. Norfoluma just snatches it out. It's a little bit of an Aussie rules take. There's the tackle. That's what got the Tigers up the other end of the field. Benji Marshall trying to inject himself into the game. So dangerous. Here's the cross-field kick. Watch this for a take. Fuller running. Norfoluma, an Aussie rules style take. Slams the footy down. Scored a couple of easy tries tonight, hasn't he? Great take. Tigers go back-to-back. Same sort of thing they did in the first half. Can they go on with it to finish off?
Yeah, Copley beaten. Copley would have about 10 centimetres on Norfoluma. You wouldn't know it in that battle. And what about the kick from Dewey? Played a lot in the halves as a junior, but haven't seen him in that position too often in his NRL career. But as a third choice option there, he put it on a dime for his winger. Marshall maintains the goal kicking responsibilities and drills it. 10-point lead, Corey.
Yeah, Speed, that's what I wanted to touch on. Just the skill level of this West Tigers outfit, whether it's through second phase, whether it's a nice pass, a flick pass. And there it was Dewey, the third string kicker, put it on an absolute dime for this man here, Norfoluma. For for a small winger, and his ability to get up and beat tackles, absolutely superb.
Don't forget the footy hasn't finished this weekend, a long weekend, and the Dragons take on the Bulldogs. A win, a first win of the season coming up for one of those teams. Who will it be? Find out on Fox League, 3 p.m. tomorrow. The coverage starts. Norfoluma seeing plenty of the footy.
He's run for 142 metres too, a couple of tries. Not a bad night out.
50-metre intercept helps pad out those stats, doesn't it? But it's had a fantastic night all round.
He might turn left when he gets on the plane to go home, you reckon?
Kick for the first try in this second half was outstanding as well. There was a time there where he couldn't get into the team last year. Surely locked down that right wing position for a long time to come now. Seyfarth, the Dundas Shamrock as a youngster. Marshall trying to weight it for just inside the field of play, but went a little long, so didn't quite have the radar on there, Benji. Sammy's recovered from being upended by Garner about 5 minutes ago.
Just having a look at Lasoni there defensively, and we talk about the middlemen running out a little bit of puff. I think it'll be long before he gets replaced. He's starting to run up and down on the spot.
Skewiff play the ball from Peachy. Now Hipgrave, plenty of work from Twile. Peachy running around the middle. Taylor drops it on the boot, saw open space, but Dewey got there quickly.
You know the problem with that kick there? The idea was right, but his outside men didn't know he was going to kick. You see how slow the chase was from the Titans.
Double change made for the West Tigers. The two bookends are back on, Aloye and McKaylee.
Clark sucking in the big ones.
And straight into the action too.
Orfaluma, more metres for him. Late offload as well was forced and knocked on eventually by Grant. So Orfaluma claiming that there was a double knock on him there, and he's suggesting a captain's challenge.
No, it's been ruled that it was a forward pass on the ground. No challenging. Shot clock on. We've ruled that the ball's gone forward.
Forward pass?
Yeah, by Harry Grant, but Orfaluma's claiming that should be a knock-on before it by Proctor, that they should be able to challenge.
Guys, you got to be on that.
Can't see why they can't challenge that aspect of it in the same play.
Guys, if you're going to move it, you've got to get in.
It was scrappy anyway, and the Titans have an opportunity to try and raise another double-digit deficit.
In.
A little bit of confusion about who's going to pack in the scrum there for the Tigers.
And they got some leeway. They didn't beat the shot clock. Argument to say that should be a penalty, I suppose. Sloppy pass left Taylor a sitting duck.
Hold Josh, wait Tom, hold him.
And Harry Grant accepted the opportunity to go right through him.
Josh Holloway off the grip. Tom to me, Richie. Hold him. Hurry.
Proctor, already a try scorer tonight.
Offside on now. Hold him.
Plenty of time for Gold Coast. Here's Jolliffe. Jamin Jolliffe, third game for him.
He's a big boy too. He makes his presence felt here.
Peachy, Hipgrave, never scored a try, but now he has. Keegan Hipgrave. A long time coming. 29 games into his NRL career, and he has a meat pie right under the black dot. No wonder he's grinning from ear to ear.
Well, didn't his eyes light up too as soon as he got the football? Little right foot step, straight over the top of a couple of Tigers defenders. Hipgrave gets his first try. Look at that, it's a great effort. That's strength just to throw out the arm like that. Anything could happen. Just around the middle, little right foot step. 3 around the tackle. Hipgrave. This is exactly what happened in the first half. Tigers shot out a couple of tries. Start the second half, they shoot out a couple of tries. Hipgrave gets the Titans hungry again.
And that story that I mentioned earlier about the concussions that he dealt with throughout his career and led to him having to pass those tests, the neurology tests, to make sure that he was right to play contact sport at this level again. Had to be patient. Made his debut in 2017. You think you're going to have a try by at least 2018, 2019, Block. Had to wait till 2020.
You'll tell the grandkids about that one. Chip over the top, regather, 60-metre solo effort. Although you can't tell porkies anymore. There's so much footage, isn't there? Hey?
Straightforward conversion coming up for Ash Taylor. And it's back to a 4-point margin with a quarter of the game to go.
Well, that man there on screen, all he was wanting from his players was everyone to have a dig and bring some energy. And we talk about players that bring energy. Here's one here with Peachy. I love the way he's able to move around through that middle third and just have that freedom. Keegan Hipgrave, well, he brings energy every time he comes. Young Tonamapia, Fogarty, Clark, Fodawaker. Some real good signs for the Titans. They didn't go away, very much like that first half. The Tigers had all the running early, and then the Titans come back. We'll see what they've got.
Seen him on edge a lot, Keegan Hipgrave, but stepped into the middle, replacing Jai Arrow tonight. And that mobility around the middle pays off on that occasion. Tonamapia. Handy debut in Titans colours from him.
Billy Walters on.
The number 15 for the West Tigers, Billy Walters. Peachy again, trying to put some footwork on and test the middlemen of the opposition. Jamin Jolliffe, big frame, able to get a few metres after contact. Decent set after points, and Fogarty gives them one to chase. Dewey, trying to put him off was Ash Taylor, but Dewey saw it all the way. Good safe take by the custodian.
It was a beautiful take, wasn't it? Dewey his eyes never left the ball there.
Walters through the dummy first up.
Move together, Tanner. Hold.
Line speed from Hipgrave. Left Amoye with nowhere to go. And this set went pretty quickly. Brooks, pressure on the kick as well. The energy levels are there for the Titans to try and turn this one around and get their first victory of the season.
Well, they've been given a sniff, haven't they? The Tigers, back-to-back tries to start the second half, have allowed this Titan side, have been gutsy to have a go at the back end of the game here. You've got to find something.
I think great success for the teams that have been the fly-in, fly-out team so far in this young season. The West Tigers, how will their energy levels be at the back end of this one after a long Sunday?
I think Peachy's going to be the man too. He's dangerous in and around the ruck, especially when the Tigers are starting to get a little bit tired. He's a wonderful footy player. Set up that last try.
Dewey able to drag Cartwright about 8 metres after contact. Now Jennings on the follow-up, and they're rolling at the start of this set. Norfoluma up quickly. It was his opposite number. Good legs tackle by Kelly. Just got square at marker, did he? It was a close run thing. Those tackle restarts have certainly dried up since the opening 20 of this game. Again, a bit of pressure on Brooks's kick. As a result, Sammy able to take it.
Well, the Tigers are going to keep playing. Their last couple of sets have been mediocre. Just trying to get to their kicks. They can't stop playing footy now.
Interesting change for the Titans. That man we just spoke of, Peachy, who's caused all sorts of havoc, has come off. Mo Fodawaker and Jai Arrow have gone on. Keegan Hipgrave still come off as well.
There's Arrow. First hit up since returning. Boyd links up with Fodawaker. Trying to open them up. There was a gap which closed just in time. Fogarty tries to give it some hang time. Bouncing ball, Don a chance here. Anthony Don for a double. Still alive for Jai Arrow, who claims it. There was a bit going on. Is it a knock-on against the Titans, or are we level here?
He never give up on the play, did he, Arrow? Well, just watching coming in to take the ball there, Robert Jennings, you've got to go in and make a commitment to catch the footy.
Okay, Jared.
Don't let it bounce.
We're back to tackle one because it's touched by Tigers. We've got to try.
Got to try here.
Just
Jai Arrow, never giving up on the play. Just watch Jennings here.
From a Titan player in the end goal.
He's in the area to attack this footy as it goes in the air.
Right side Gold
Just stands
Coast
and
as cleared as
just looks at
onside.
it.
We've got players in front of the kicker on the left that we will track through.
So they're all onside, the important players, you'd think, on this right-hand side. So none of those offside chasers are getting involved here.
See Jennings there, just pull out of it. Can't afford to do that.
Who does it touch there? Does Tonamapia avoid getting any fingernail on that one? I'll check it from another angle.
I don't reckon it's hit him.
No, nowhere near him.
This would be a try. What a finish.
No breach at the lead up. We're playing on to this point.
Bit going on here. Don's hands get around it. He wants to avoid another touch here. Gee whiz.
I reckon Dewey touches it first and then Don touches it.
When does he touch it? You think he touches left hand there?
Let's have a look.
Not sure he does he? And another angle conclusively to identify if Don gets a fingernail on that. That looks fairly incriminating.
I think he touches it.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in that play. It looked hard for it to be a Titans try.
He's touched it.
Left hand of Don appears to crumple up against the ball on that other angle, and this one almost confirms it. Touch from Dewey, and then the touch from Don there. So knock back Tigers,
Anthony
knock
Don,
on.
the back of his
Don.
hand contacts the ball, which constitutes a knock on. We have a decision.
Nearly 22 all. Instead, a 7 tackle set for the West Tigers, who get very, very lucky indeed.
Gee, they've been unlucky.
All I can is review it, mate. Yeah, well, it's been reviewed, mate.
It's Don trying to claim that he never touched it.
They said it's hit Anthony Don's hand, mate. That's what they've. Here we go.
I think he's claiming an optical illusion has fooled the video ref, but they had a look at it from multiple angles and it appeared to marry up.
Hold it, guys, hold it.
Chris Lawrence, plenty of work to get his first play the ball going. Handy to bring on a veteran at this stage of the game to try and close things out. Puts his hand up again. Aloye. Marshall back on the angle. Here's Garner. Twile, the man given a rest, doesn't go 80 minutes tonight. Haven't done a lot with the 7 tackle set. Brooks gets an attacking kick away that's floating around a little. Don tried to get a foot in the in goal. How clever was that? Gets him a 7 tackle set as well.
And wants to run the ball. Enthusiastic player.
Okay, to restart.
Knows exactly where he is, Don. Ooh.
Okay, Jared.
Is the foot up?
First contact, the foot's still grounded, so...
Tigers challenging that the ball was not...
There we go, they're debating it.
On the full in the end goal.
What's your understanding of the rule, Blocker?
Well, if your foot's lifted off, you can have it there, but if it's lifted off as he takes the ball...
Still grounded when he first touches.
That's grounded, that's fine.
Anthony Don's foot is on the goal line when he takes possession. Challenge
if his foot's
unsuccessful.
up and he catches the ball.
The West Tigers players were on your wavelength there, but just I was confident in Don. He does the little things right.
I tell you what, they've got good eyes. How do they see it in that sort of speed of the game? Just a little bit worried about the Tigers here. Their last 3 sets have been pretty ordinary. Stop playing.
Now, George, Billy, square. Hold in.
Still a long time to go.
Fodawaker bouncing out of tackles. Gets rid of Walters as well. Can he get rid of Aloye? He was back up eventually, but what a handful he is, Mo Fodawaker. Tanner Boyd. Goes to Fogarty and now Cartwright. And there's good meters here on back-to-back plays for the Gold Coast side. 6 more as well. And Tonamapia right through, looks for Don, doesn't need to force the pass. They've got a fresh set here.
Shift left.
All the way here, all the way here. 6 more.
That's almost 10 in the bin stuff. As the tackle count restarts again, that was professional foul kind of level.
Hold here, hold.
Get away with one, perhaps. Fodawaker. Can they crack them here? Converted try to take the lead. 4-pointer to level things up. Arrow left. Ash Taylor throws the dummy. And Benji tries the one-on-one strip.
Tackle 3.
And a good battle between the two number 6s. Boyd down a short side for Proctor. Moves it on to Arrow now. Second phase, 40. Oh, Jolliffe was that close to his first try.
Go forward.
Lovely service. Not so from Fogarty. Tonamapia did well to pick it up. Running behind teammates. Got to be careful here. Philip Sammy.
Last one, Benji. Don't spoil it.
Sets him up.
Good tackle one-on-one by Benji Marshall.
Fogarty for Cartwright to drop it on the boot. Played at and worried about being offside was Mbye. Stayed out of it. And another 6 tackles to defend for the Tigers. Already opened them up right down the middle. A few minutes back, and they have another crack there. Jolliffe lost it though. The pass was suspect, and the West Tigers do make that defensive stand.
Just see, they were just a little bit nervous, weren't they? Just trying to rush things. The Titans here.
6 and 6, guys.
So gripping drama on Fox League, and then the laughs coming up Sunday night with Matty Johns right after full time. Dale Finucane will chime in via FaceTime as well as one of the guests.
Sorry, mate. No, he wanted it there. It's their choice.
Fletcher's FaceTime
There.
firing up.
It can be where the
I'm a big fan of the time machine too.
Is that part 3 tonight?
No, I hope so.
Considerable stoppage in play here as they patch up Luke Garner, who copped it in the Adams apple there during that tackling sequence. Oh, the elbow flung up, didn't it? That can do serious damage. Leaving the ground as well.
Until you can make you talk like that.
Yeah, well, Kevin Proctor does talk like that after popping something similar.
Okay, guys, wait.
Just while there's a break in play there, boys, Tyrone Peachey has made his way right up in front of me in that last set, just screaming all sorts of advice to his teammates. He's standing there, he's looking up at the coach's box, he's agitated, he wants to get back out there.
I was surprised they took him off, Corey, to tell you the truth. He was the man that looked most likely.
Up early, Tonamapia. Walters down the short side. Brooks was screaming for it. No gaps in this Titans defence at the moment. Alloy A trying to exploit Tanner Boyd, who got help from Fodawaker.
Untangle, wait. Go.
Marshall tumbles one down. Oh, indecision. And Kelly just called Sammy into it in the nick of time. That could have gotten really ugly.
It was a good take in the end, but from Sammy. A little bit of indecision at the back there. Oh, this is a good penalty. Second tackle. A little bit of a chicken wing there. Put me on, he's saying. Peachy, get us out there. That's a good sign for the Titans. He wants to get out there again. There's the arm in an awkward position.
Here we are, guys. On his foot, not before. Go.
So they start on halfway after the touch finder. Great to see a Titans game when the game is in the balance, heading into the final 10. After they've been blown out in the first 3 rounds. Late offload from Arrow. Tanner Boyd ready to go. Jolliffe holds on this time. Fogarty. Tonamapia, desperate to be a winner first up with his new team. Jolliffe off a flat ball from Fogarty.
You see how much belief they've got now, the Titans.
What's their pet play in the clutch? Arrow for Fogarty. Links up with Taylor. Kick in behind. Weighted perfectly. We are level. Kick to come. Brian Kelly finishes off a deft kick from Ash Taylor, who had a horrible start to this game, but has been brilliant since.
Well, he didn't drop his head. 40-20 in the first half. Ash Taylor here. A little bit more time at 5'8" there. Just pulls off the ball. The little grabber kick. What about the bounce? That's a great try, Brian Kelly. And that is the wonderful skills that this kid possesses. That's why he's paid the big money.
And Justin Holbrook had a look at things and he said, Ash Taylor, let's take some pressure off him. Take the number 7 off his back. Put Fogarty alongside to be the communicator and let Taylor just play footy.
Well, he just seems like he's got a little bit more time. You can see it perfectly there. Little grubber in and behind, beautifully placed. And that goes along with his 40-20 in the first half. And the Titans, 22 all.
And now, guess who the pressure falls upon? This guy. Ash Taylor to finish off his work and maintain that 100% success rate.
I reckon this is what you dream of, Corey, isn't it? In the backyard as a goal kicker.
Absolutely. He strikes him quite well, Ash Taylor. That's his favoured side.
70% throughout his career. 25 years of age now. His kicks have been on point throughout this game. Look at the focus. To try and break the deadlock. 22 plays 22. Will it come back? Ash Taylor trying to bend it back. Shaves the upright just like he did with that field goal attempt, which would have been handy at the back end of the first half.
Yeah, he hit the ball well with that field goal attempt. I think we're going to see our man back on the field in Tyrone Peachy.
Well, he doesn't have a card in his hand. He's just walking up and down, giving all sorts of advice to his players. But it's a terrific fight back here for the Gold Coast Titans. Off a 2-pass kick there from Ash Taylor. Nice little touch. By getting it 2 passes wide of the ruck block, it was able to bring up Norfoluma, and Kelly was a great finish.
8.5 to go. On a nice edge. Sunday night footy. Hope you're enjoying this new time slot. Week in, week out, the 6:30 p.m. kickoff and your Sunday night. Nice way to finish off the weekend block.
Don't forget we're a game tomorrow too.
Yeah.
A long weekend.
That's the Bulldogs against the Dragons, live on Fox League, 3 p.m. tomorrow. The coverage begins. Taylor throwing dummies now and almost away from McKaylee. Arrow, some of his offloads have been key today. Walters told his teammate to drop off as he had a crack at the footy. Jai Arrow's not going to release that one. Jolliffe, they're 40 out, so you wouldn't think there's a shot at a field goal just yet. It's Fogarty to go high. Tonamapia chases again. Jennings, how's the confidence levels? Batted back. Oh, and then knocked on by Cartwright. It's a double knock on, though. Full set of 6 coming up here for the Titans, and Jennings, he looks rattled.
Scrum line, shot clock on.
Just competing for the footy, that's the big thing. Tonamapia was right on the spot.
Ash, let's get 6, come on.
Well, they played the first knock on. Not a bad place to attack from.
He's had a superb game, Tonamapia, 16 runs, 147 metres, 3 tackle busts, but it's his energy. It's his ability to compete, as you just mentioned. It's infectious and it's rubbing off on the players around him.
Let's get right in. Come on, join me.
Some night from young Tonamapia. What can they do here? Inside the 20 they begin. Copley's been quiet tonight. Hasn't seen a lot of footy in his preferred role in the centres. And Proctor, pretty safe stuff. Are they already thinking about the shot at one, or are they hunting that try? Arrow, Fonawaka right up the middle.
And they'll go now.
For one, or?
Should have a go. In a great position.
They go right for Sammy to go to Cartwright, no way through.
Great tackle.
Now Fogarty, the communicator, takes over. Arrow sets them up. Does Ash Taylor want the shot at one now? Can Tanner Boyd dish it up for him? Fires it back. Fogarty's thinking, let's go to Don and Tonomapia again. Jennings goes up. Don can't flick it back in the field of play, and not going for a field goal is an interesting choice.
Yeah, not a bad play there from the Titans, a crossfield kick, because Robert Jennings has been under all sorts of pressure. Don tries to out-jump him again.
Don't walk it with your foot.
I think I would have went for the field goal there. Only 5 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go. Get that 1 point ahead, give you a lift.
Saw the game last week, of course, the Panthers and the Knights. They couldn't find a field goal in the last 20 minutes of game time, really. So you may as well try and kick one there, but they turned down the opportunity. And Jennings, good second effort once Don snatched it away from his grasp again to take him into touch. Now Walters, late offload, he was hunting. Looking for a call of held, it eventually comes. And now Joey Leilua. Good meters on that play. Up to halfway, final play. Oh, that's a forward pass, isn't it? Out in front of Brooks. Decent kick to finish the set. They asked the Titans to go 90. Marshall looking for that one-on-one strip again.
It's great the way the players drop off too in the calls there.
You've got a line to help you out there as the touchy. Is that a forward pass? That was a legit forward pass.
I think you're right. Very flat pass.
Forward out of the hands.
Tyrone Peachy back on, boys.
That was the last interchange. Justin Holbrook waited and waited and pulls the trigger with less than 5 to go. Don. Great tackle, Mbai. A captain's tackle. Quick play the ball though. Cartwright off the back of it. And now the kick has to come from inside their own half. Taylor onto the chest of Norfoluma. Decent starting position here for the West Tigers. And Norfoluma is going to make it look even better.
Young Tonomapia's out in the back play. He's got cramps.
That was the risk in making that final interchange, and he's managed to stop play. Great work by the trainer.
Well, you can't stop play for a cramp.
This can't happen,
Fair
surely.
income.
Tackle 2, Adam.
Honestly, what's happened to our game?
Guys, all right?
In a real pivotal point of the game, young Tonomapia has gone down with cramps, unfortunately for him, and we stop the game. Billy Moore,
Look at
we're
Billy.
seeing the stands. He's not happy.
Ranting and raving and preparing his soliloquy for NRL 360 during the week.
Do you reckon he'd be saying Queenslander?
Plenty of North Sydney Bears jumpers in the crowd today.
I understand that, Adam.
West Tigers frustrated here because it allows the Titans' defensive line to get their breath back and really muscle up here.
A cramp's not an injury, is it?
It's more an OH&S issue once you get the trainer on the field and he's worried about interfering with play and getting barreled over by footy players, perhaps. That may be the reason the ref is compelled to stop play. Short side. Oh, Leilua, juggling actor now. He's nearly through. Grant off the flick from Leilua. Will they take the shot at one? Brooks into dummy half. Benji from 20 out. Plenty of time to size it up. Benji Marshall gives the West Tigers a 1-point lead.
Oh, don't you love it? You knew he'd kicked it. As soon as he hit the ball, Benji Marshall just turns around and runs back to the halfway line. Look at that. Watch how hard he hits this. Boom. What a great kick. Turns around. All right, boys. Like shelling peas.
We might start taking conversion attempts like that, Blocker. Is he allowed to? He hits them sweeter than he does off the tee. 16 field goals in his career. He's always been clutch, Benji Marshall. And And this kickoff's not going to get the distance, barring a bounce, a miracle bounce. It gets there, and now they're alive, the Titans. Can you believe that? Can you believe that rule that allows everyone to stand and watch and see whether it goes 10 metres, and it did. Maybe the football gods are on the Titans' side today.
Well, they've never given up. They've always had the ability to get back into the game. She's going right down to the wire here.
Should they set up for a field goal to tie it up again, Block? They're right in position to make it 23-all now if they want. Penalty would be handy too. Arrow.
Yeah, they'll go now, I'd reckon. If they're going to go, here's the right time.
Ash Taylor one side, Fogarty the other. Tanner Boyd goes to Fogarty, who takes them on, and that play is burnt. They get to the last. Taylor now screaming for it in front of the uprights. Can Boyd find him? He does. Won't get the shot off. Is the overlap created? Copley now. Back on the angle goes Kelly. Kick in behind. Chases there. Sammy! Play it again, Sammy! Almost a year to the day, the Titans have won it on the bell.
Well, I reckon they'll have a look to see if he's onside. If he's onside, that's a brilliant kick back in field.
Winless for nearly 12 months, but the heads-up play from Brian Kelly.
Oh, he's onside. They've snatched it.
Oh!
The ball is grounded and in goal. We have a decision.
Well, what a kick back in field. And the Titans showed plenty of enthusiasm in this game. A number of changes before the game this week. What a chase from Sammy.
I reckon Taylor was screaming for it, saying, get me the footy and I'll have a shot at field goal. Now, this is an interesting rule, isn't it? Because the West Tigers can't go and try and claim that ball until it goes 10. The bouncing ball allowed Kelly to get great position to collect it once it got over that 10-metre line. And that was key.
Yep, you're 100% right here. Beautiful pass outside. Probably thought about kicking. Look at that for a grubber kick. What about the bounce? The gods are with the Titans.
The bouncing ball fell into the arms of Kelly off the kickoff, and then the bouncing ball off Kelly's boot found Sammy for surely the match winner. Stuff Golden Point, we're going for gold in the 80.
Wow. You feel for the Tigers, but you feel happy for the Titans. Just said it's taken them a year to get this win.
And he's milked all of the clock he could. Ash Taylor starts ticking again, in fact. So there'll be another short kickoff coming up for the West Tigers. And they will need a converted try of their own. Justin Holbrook can reach out and touch it, that first victory. But he wants them to set up appropriately for the short kickoff.
I reckon the Tigers would have thought they were on the plane home with the 2 points.
Well, you've got to be set up on both sides, don't you? Because they could switch it up and come to this side. Looks like they anticipate it to go to the far side where Proctor is waiting. Do you go right up the middle and test Tanner Boyd with a little dribbler? Now they go high. Who wants it? Kelly wants it. Collects another short kickoff, and that should be that.
She's played an important role, moved onto the wing, scored a try, set up the last try. It's been good, Kelly.
Release it here, hold it. Just stand up. Tackle 2.
Well, the saying is that a week is a long time in football. How about a year? A year is an eternity, and that's how long it's been since the Gold Coast Titans have won a game of footy, but they can celebrate now. Ash Taylor is pumped up, deservedly so. What a night for Holbrook and his Titans. They opened their account in 2020, trailed by double digits on 2 occasions tonight, but come back with a sensational match-winning try in the final 2 minutes, and they are off the bottom of the ladder. Smiles all round on the Gold Coast, full time, 28-23 win for the Gold Coast Titans over the Tigers.